Samuel, is that let's talk a little bit about the DAP DDP scenario,
Mhm.
right? Overall, and you and I have talked about this a lot, is that, and we talked about it earlier, where you cannot be a non-resident importer, which makes DDP very difficult. And
Correct.
so technically, you cannot ship DDP into Mexico because you can't be the importer of record.
Right.
However, Samuel's going to kind of explain to you the way that some companies actually do ship DDP, but it's just a little bit of a different scenario that's provided. So do you want to kind of walk through that a little bit, Samuel?
Sure, of course. As you mentioned, that DDP, it's a complex scenario to use for the U.S. shipper. However, is one very good reason and very good point to use that if have the opportunity to make the right agreements with import of records. When as DDP, as only Mexican entities are able to import, when you are the shipper and you send the goods into Mexico, so you have the options to use the DDP, absorbing all the charge for the fees and for the services, and putting sell all your merchandise when absorbing all the costs for processing and forwarding and even the duty sometimes. So the thing for you is that you need to make an agreement with importer record and say, hey guys, I'm going to sell in you, I'm going to DDP, and I'm going to absorb or be responsible for all the processes and the charges in the United States using my Mexican customs broker. So to be able to that happen, the importer record need to register our broker license and just borrow us, or borrow you the importer record registration, and we can be able to clear the customs with through our broker license and everything, and charge all or bill all the charges and all the fees to the U.S. shipper. However, the main thing that is very helpful with the frequent volume. When you send them into Mexico, a frequent volume or permanent volume of shipments every week, every 2 weeks or daily. So you have the options to use that, because as you can choose one Mexican broker, you are ensuring that your compliance in your goods, the compliance in your regulations, the determination on the HTS code, and everything is going to be taken care very well, and will be very smooth, the process to send the shipments into Mexico. So in other words, when you sell that, for example, you can sell with all that charge included, stating to your customer, you know what, my price is this one, and I'm going to absorb all the loading, unloading, forwarding, inspection, customs, shipper export, all the costs in order to you can receive the merchandise free of charge. So, however, the import will be, again, under the importer records, and the duties is just different kind of duties that can apply. All the processing fees, the Mexican VAT, which is the IVA, and the international duties, the commerce of duties, so ad valorem. So basically, just the VAT. Most of the time, when you use NAFTA, you avoid the processing fee, you are avoiding international duties, and just apply in a permanent or consumption imports is just apply the VAT. In the VAT, we can explain in more detail by email, but you have two options. If the importer of record absorbs the VAT, it's refundable for them. If the U.S. shipper absorbs the VAT, need to make an internal agreement, because the importer of records always can be asked for refund the Mexican VAT duties. So that is a little bit more detail that we can provide by email in a direct question for that. But the good news on this is that using a DDP, you're going to avoid a third party's companies as a third party as a custom broker for your importer record, and where you will be not ensuring that they're going to cross on time, make the right processes, compliance all the Mexican regulation, which is an issue. And what could be the risk for the US shipper in that? Delays, time, cost, and in the worst of the cases, lose the merchandise for some customs seize it in case that a permit was not complied, or in case that they are wrong HTS code. So that is something very important to need to consider, because just as a general information for you guys, U.S. Customs broker, it's the main goal of that is a national security agency. Mexican Customs is not a national security agency. Their main goal is a revenue government office. That is the reason, because the penalty is very straight and very firm on that. So two different way of entry the goods into the United States: safety, national security one, and revenue and capture duties and taxes and duties. So in other words, Mexican Customs is it's taking revenue instead of national security. It's a treasure of government office.
Right. And so, the question comes up is, why would the importer let us do that? Well, it's because in Mexico, the importer's liability is very, very, very low, and the broker's is very, very, very high. So, a lot of it comes down to the EVA and how we want to work through that. Will you take a minute and kind of talk about that 16?